been playing a lot of Valheim. Maybe too much. Instead of doing other things. Anyway, got me thinking that with Facebook changing their name to Meta and wanting to create or design a metaverse, but being completely unnecessary because we have video games, and that's exactly what that is. It seems to me that what's missing is transportation between these worlds rather than, so basically the hub would be something like Steam or whatever other video game store would be the hub. And the idea would be that you would create characters within those, the idea is that you need a translation layer between the video game characters in independent worlds and a universal game character in a common world, so that, say, you could use your avatar and exist in multiple places, so that let's say you create this character and it's got 0 attributes, whatever, and you travel to Valheim in this character, and then you build up a bunch of skills. When your cloud save happens, it translates what's appropriate, or has like a translation layer. I'm saying this all badly, but it's got like a translation layer between Valheim and your generic global character, which describes the statistics, and then you take that same character into other worlds and they use those same statistics. So you could level up your meta character in any world and have it apply. So what you need is a definition of a video game character that is generic, that exists outside of the game world, that has a translation layer for the internal representation in the game world, whatever game that may be. I like to think about it in terms of protocols and layers, and the thing that comes to mind in my head is what Pixar and there's like an open movie format or an open interchange format for timelines. I think it might be Open Timeline IO, I'm not 100% sure in my head. Basically, it's the independent representation. There's a bunch of other things like GLTF and other independent formats which aim to be as generic as possible. It's sort of like what an MPEG would be, or maybe that's a bad example, more like what an MKV is, where it's a container for other things, and yeah, and so that way you can be you, because it's like an avatar of yourself usually, or you have multiple avatars of yourself that can then translate into game worlds, and then you don't have to level them in, like in game worlds. And you could make it so that the game doesn't respect the global character, in which case you've got your generic whatever, but you could have it so that it does, like you could make that optional. And then, yeah, you've got your meta, and that game save, whatever that save is, translate it between different platforms. You could be on the Origin store, you could be on the Microsoft store, it doesn't matter, because your cloud save is independent, and it keeps everything separate. So and then it would be up to the games themselves whether or not they implement the functionality. And I guess if you could embed graphics, then you could, or have, say, a service, then you could import the graphics of your avatar based on that sort of design, for those who are interested, if the game world allows it, So really, it's less likely a company will do it, and more like a consortium of companies will get together and create this type of thing. And I think it will live independently of any one platform if it's going to live at all. So yeah, to create the meta, you just need a protocol, and you need a bunch of you guys, Valve, Origin, Unity, Unreal, those guys, engine creators, whoever, video game studios, to agree on a meta format for the game characters, which you can then transport between different places. Keep it on a thumb drive, encrypt it, do whatever the fuck you want to it. Cheers.